This is Fly from ChiTownRocks.com, and I'm here with Jeff Manga of the BuzzHounds.
We are the BuzzHounds. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Thank you very much.
All right, Jeff, so you guys are part of the rock and blues scene here in Chicago. Why don't you give me some of your quick influences, who you grew up with, etc. Some of the guys or the nationals that you guys have played with along the way, and you know, what you guys are doing today.
Cool. Yeah, I started playing guitar as a kid mostly because of Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin. Obviously, I love Eddie Van Halen. Growing up as a kid, gravitated towards Hendrix.
Now, you've played with Les Paul, you were telling me earlier.
Yeah.
How did that experience go for you? It had to be something special.
Yeah, it was really cool. It kind of happened really quick. My manager at the time, who is now my wife, sent in some tapes to their management and worked her magic, and the next thing I knew, I was sitting in with Les Paul at the Iridium in New York.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool.
Now, you guys are saying about the blues in Chicago. How would you guys feel about that if you got labeled as we want you to wear the crown as the youngsters in Chicago?
Wow. Well, if anyone calls me young, I'd be really happy. But yeah, that would be cool, and I think that's kind of what we're trying to do. You know, we're not your typical 4/4
right.
You know, rockabilly blues. I mean, we really dirty it up. We like to overdrive our sound and, you know, play basically dirty old blues, heavy and dirty. Yeah,
that leads into one of my questions, which was, you know, you guys definitely have a hard rock edge to you. You definitely have blues, but you could have a little alternative in you guys.
Yeah.
Also, so I mean, you fit in, you know, a lot of different genres.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
You know, it's. These days, you know, you have to put a label on everything, and you know,
right.
The BuzzHounds were, you know, we grew up around late '80s and early '90s music, so you know, we have influences like Jane's Addiction.
Right.
Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. You know, just to name a few, Pantera. I mean, I absolutely love Pantera. I think Daryl was probably the best guitar player, in my opinion, ever.
He basically, you know, took what he learned from Eddie Van Halen and took it to that other level.
Yeah, and you know, you can argue that that Daryl, Dimebag Daryl, was rooted in blues as well. I mean, he came up with the style. It was basically heavily overdriven, fast groove blues. Yeah.
Especially a lot of his leads. I mean, they were metal, but they did have those blues scales to them.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a couple of your bigger gigs that you guys did. Now, didn't you do something like at a marathon or something downtown?
Yeah. We did the Rock and Roll Marathon. We've been doing that every year for the last 5 years, and we actually did a really cool festival this year too, up north at in Highland Park, and got the chance to play with some legendary blues guys, man. Muddy Waters Kid, Bill Morningfield. We played with Nick and Barry of the Chicago Blues Reunion, and these guys basically, the movie Born in Chicago, if you get a moment to check it out, I mean, these guys played with everybody, the Stones, Dylan, and basically learned from you know, the old school Chicago guys way back in the day. And when we had a chance to play with those guys and meet meet those guys. I mean, I met Nick, and I was just completely floored. I mean, he lives in LA now. He flew in for the show, and I was like, man, what a feather in the cap to play with the guys that literally are now the living blues legends.
Right.
So, we jumped at that chance, and I was, just every time you play with someone, every time you get to meet someone that's touched greatness like that, a little bit rubs off on you. And that's
so you find you've learned from the legends?
Yeah, and that's why I do it. That's why I continue to do it. That's why I love the blues. I mean, there's so much history with it, and there's so much history in Chicago. And, playing with Nick, Barry, playing with Corky Siegel, Buddy Guy, Harvey Mandel, a lot of really cool cats that have been everywhere and done everything in regards to blues and the Chicago scene. It was really cool. So
you have to feel very honored to be able to step on the same stage with those guys.
Yeah, it was an honor, man. And I just take notes, man.
So I was watching your video footage, like on your website and stuff from Hard Rock Live and stuff like that. Now, it was good footage. Who shot that footage? Who produced it and stuff like that?
Yeah, buddy of mine, John Romashko.
We are the BuzzHounds. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Owns a video company, and the guy's just gifted. I mean, we did a 5-camera HD shoot. He's got his own company now, and he shoots videos and such, and his own production company. But the video came out absolutely outstanding. We had 5 cameras, 5 different perspectives. He edited it. The sound was as good as we could have got it. I mean, it was a live room sound. We did have a feed from the board, so it was a straight up mix. What you had that night is what you got.
Okay.
It came out great, and John did a hell of a job, man. If anyone's looking for any kind of video, he's definitely the guy to call.
There's your shout out, John. Okay, your debut album, Weapons of Mass Seduction.
Yeah.
That's a great name, by the way. When was it released? Where was it recorded, and who actually, engineered and produced it?
Yeah, it was recorded down in Chicago at Rax Tracks, which is used to be Chicago Tracks, which is a legendary recording studio. And the guy that
is that on Broadway or?
It's it's right by the 6 Corners, right down the street from the Chicago Music Exchange.
Okay.
But the guy that our producer produced Magic Slim, George Thorogood, a number of well-established and killer blues players, and obviously the rest. Magic Slim slowly lost him last year, but he also what I liked about him is he also produced Ministry. He also produced some very heavy bands back in the day.
So he's kind of all over the board then.
Yeah. So we were able to really capitalize on his processing ability for some of the guitar sounds and stuff, and it came out really well. So obviously, we did a couple of blues tracks, but the record really came off more of a more rocky. I think that we really turned up the blues aspect of things live. We do a set that's pretty much straight up Chicago blues, and then the record came off like a rock record.
Okay, why don't you tell everybody where they could get your record? Is it available on iTunes and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can check us out at buzzhounds.net. You can look at Facebook/BuzzHounds. We're on iTunes, Amazon, and stores as well. And if you'd like to purchase the record, which nobody does anymore, but you can purchase it on iTunes. If you want to steal it, by all means.
All right.
I don't mind.
One of my favorite songs on there is Time Bomb. How'd you get that groove for that song?
Yeah, I was watching TV with my acoustic guitar, and I like to, whenever I do watch TV anymore, I like to have a guitar in my hand so I don't feel like I'm wasting time. But anyway, I'm just hopping along. I cut that riff, and the words just kind of popped out. It's a song about getting older and wiser, not necessarily about getting old, but at the bottom of it all, I mean, we're all taking time bombs.
Can anybody tell me?
We were just talking about a newer song that I believe you said it was sort of dedicated for your grandfather and stuff.
Yeah.
What's the title of that track, and is that on the album, or is that something new?
Yeah, that's that song's on the record too. It's an acoustic take, and that's straight up old school Delta blues with a kick drum, slide guitar. But you know, something my grandfather told me a long time ago. You know, life is easy. You know, you got to give until you die, and that's the name of the game. So the name of the track is "Give to Live."
Daddy said, son, ain't no secret to living. Y'all got to keep on giving.
The hook is, you know, Granddaddy said, you got to keep on living and giving to live. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Granddaddy said, son, ain't no secret to living. You just got to keep on giving.
We talk a little bit about the BuzzHounds. When did you guys actually start gigging? And you know, we'll talk about the members in the band as well.
Yeah, we started. It'll be 2 years in February, and I met Eric and Shade at a concert that I was. My promoter buddy was going to, and I hung out with him, and I actually met Shade and another guy that's actually in the band, Eric. They were both at the show, and we just hit it off, man. Shade, like, you know, found out I was in a band, and he wouldn't stop talking. He's like, you got to come over, you know, hang out. You know, we're a blues band.
Isn't that how it always happens?
Totally.
Everyone's talking in a bar, you know.
That was a really cool night. I mean, there was really cool bands there that night. I mean, it was some of my favorite bands. Steepwater was there. They're a huge draw in Chicago. Great guys. And a buddy of mine, Mikey Classic, and his band, The Lonely Spur, and he's actually from the Gallows, the goddamn Gallows. So I met him there that night, I was introduced to him by another buddy of mine, Jody Robbins, who's big on the rockabilly scene. And it's just a cool night, man. I met a bunch of people and met the bandmates. And so we've been together for 2 years.
So for those of you who don't know, Mr. Eric Alvarez.
Mr. Eric Alvarez on the bass guitar.
Was when I was coming up in the Plague. We were a hardcore act. They were thrash, and he started out in Demented Ted, which became Beyond, which was sort of death metal. But Eric's also done stint with Jamie Duffy and Acumen Nation. What's Shade's history a little bit?
Shade Reed on the drums.
Do you know who he played with in the past, or?
Yeah, he played with a bunch of bands. Lucius Warbaby. He's played with. He was Honey.
Oh, he played in Honey.
Yeah, he did. With the tail end of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, but you know, Eric is the consummate pro. I mean, he's been in many bands. He's you know, Demented Ted was a huge band, a metal band. So you know, we're happy to have Eric and also Shade. I mean, both great guys.
And you guys are a three-piece, so
yeah.
I'm surprised, you know, watching you guys live. You know, there's certain bands that can pull it off, and there's certain bands that can't pull it off as far as sound goes.
Yeah.
You guys do seem to have a full sound for three guys.
Yeah.
You know, that'll lead me into my next question. Let's talk about some of your gear. Obviously, you have your Marshalls here, and you play Gibson.
Yeah.
What's some of your, you know, what's your favorite guitars to play? I mean, I know all guitarists have one or two favorites.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely a Gibson guy. I mean, I own a couple of Strats, but my old man bought me a Les Paul Custom when I was 12 years old, Ferrari Red. I actually wrote a song about it called Rollin'. But I've been a Gibson guy ever since, and it was cool. It came full circle for me when I actually played with Les Paul. I brought the guitar that my dad bought for me when I was 12, and he had signed it and played it, and got some great shots of it with him. And but anyway, I'm a Gibson guy. I think that the build is definitely better than anything, and I like the older ones. I'm not really a huge fan of the newer ones, but you know, my number one axe is a Gibson 335 custom shop dot reissue.
are you more geared towards the hollow bodies?
You know, seems like for this band I am.
Yeah.
It's you know, it lends itself to a little bit more of that variety, and it gives you a little bit more tone options. You know, if you want to blues it up a bit, you can roll off the highs and mellow out, put it on the neck, and you know, get real fat sound. If you want to go for that ballsy rock sound, you can crank it up, and it sounds like a Les Paul.
We are the BuzzHounds. Thank you. Check us out on the net, man.
Right.
So yeah, and I like it too because it's nice and light, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Do you have any sponsors, or are you just pretty much picking up your own gear like me?
Yeah, now I do have a couple of sponsors.
You want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, Vic Audio. They give me a bunch of pedals, and I work with Lamplifier microphones, and we're working on something with Gibson.
Is this from?
One of the pig pedals? Yeah, is from Vic.
Right.
The black one, the number 13. If you want to throw that out,
I'll just kind of throw this up there. Look at that setup he uses. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
That's only half of it, actually.
Okay.
There's another half. But yeah, Vic makes great pedals. You should check them out. It's VICK Audio, and what they do is they do recreations of the older pedals, like the Big Muff. They do some of Hendrix's pedals and
fuzz
some of those,
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're expensive. The old ones are like big money, and Vic can blow them out for well under $100. And American made. Great people, and I think you can pick his pedals up for like much less than $100 each. So check them out, bigaudio.com.
So is there any topic that you really just want to touch on real quick before we wrap this thing up?
Bottom line is support local music, support original music.
Right, right, and especially here in Chicago.
Definitely.
We need it to keep going. We're not in LA and we're not in New York, and most of us are not going to move out to LA or New York.
Exactly right.
We're here. We're gamers, so we've been in Chicago for many, many years.
Yeah, and that's why we do it, man. We're not guys like us. The scene that we're involved in, we do it because we do love it. We're not trying to sign a record deal with American Idol. In fact, I love my life. I like playing for small to mid-sized venues, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I hear you. Going to be recording anytime soon?
Yeah,
we're actually. What's going on with you guys, real quick?
We're actually recording right now. We're doing demos with Mikey V at V Note Studios. I've got a couple of songs that are in the queue right now that will probably go as is as of the moment. Look for new stuff from us, but we've been getting some really cool offers lately, so we're excited.
Let's do it before it becomes like 10 below zero, too.
Yeah, no kidding.
So real quick, just give them your information. It'll be on the actual site. It'll be on our page.
Yeah, if you type BuzzHounds in Google with no space, you'll see all kinds of our stuff. But you can take a look at us on Facebook/BuzzHounds, BuzzHounds.net, BuzzHounds.com for that matter, and Reverb Nation and iTunes. Just pretty much everywhere.
Right, and you're gonna on the next frame you're gonna play a little something for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is Fly signing off with Jeff Manga of the BuzzHounds. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it, man. No problem. Make sure you jump on their site and stay tuned for this on ChiTownRocks.com.
Thank you very much. BuzzHounds.net.
Yeah. Ready? Yep.